Oh boy, more chatting about turntables and such.
Records and CDs. But what I was reading about today, okay, so this is the Pro CD and digital. And I hadn't really thought of this, well, kind of, that, okay, so 12-inch record. Now, if you actually look at it, you know, when the lead in, a very straight little groove that leads in, but when all the music comes, it's very it's kind of like very jagged and everything, and that's where the dynamics come in. So the more the jagged, you know, the more kind of dynamics of music and more range of the frequency and everything, it's a bit more. You can't fit as many grooves onto the record. So anything that's beyond 20 minutes, you know, you can get a 30-minute aside, but it'll have to be almost like not a dynamic sound because they can't squeeze all the grooves onto the thing. And of course, and again, the further in you go, the slower the the kind of velocity is of the record, you know, rather than around the edge. So that's supposed to be. So obviously everything's better.
Do you realize
on the
that most people who watch this video are going to have absolutely no idea what you're talking about?
Well, the centrifugal velocity rate. Anyway, but yeah, so everything's better on the outside of the album. I use that anyway because that goes faster, and as it goes in, you know, it's going slower on the inside, you know, relatively. So the quality's not as good. But yeah, you really shouldn't put too much music on it because you can't fit the grooves on. You know, if there's like 100,000 grooves on the thing, 50,000 grooves on the thing might be very dynamic.
Hey,
Gus, you're
hey,
trying to get in there.
English Bulldog.
Yeah, I'll give you
Shop.
Yeah. So yeah, you can fit more grooves on if the music's not as dynamic. Therefore, get more time on the record. But yeah, and that's why really it's better to have less time on the vinyl because. You know, you can really have the dynamics of the record.
So 20 minutes is ideal, and then after that you start losing quality.
Yeah, you could up it up to 30 minutes. I remember, I think when Hysteria came out on record, or way back then, that was 30 minutes aside. That's one of the longest albums ever for a single record in an hour. Whereas most things are better around about 40 minutes. That's why the old days are 40 minutes and 45 minutes. 35 to 45 minutes were LPs.
Yeah.
But so they were really going on about. You know, that there's limits on frequencies in analog, and it's interesting to read about. You know, people still arguing, yeah, but there's still more range because you know I think it's the mastering as well, the original, the way it's recorded and produced. They're talking to some of the great producers, but some of the producers that were pro digital, they were saying, yeah, but you can't do this with vinyl because you know it's the dynamic range because of all the grooves and things, and the needle might pop out of the bloody groove. You know, because it's so, you know, the way we go, jagged the grooves with the microscopic, you look really close up. You know, when for more frequent, the more dynamics, the music's more dynamics between the harshness, the low sound and the high sound, you know, the loudness and the what. So yeah, I never thought about that. That you know, limitations of records in that respect of vinyl over digital, which doesn't have that limitation. But people are still on that column I was reading. I posted my little bit. But
what did you say?
Well, I was on about how the great days of the 80s of the great. Yeah, sure. If you have a crappy record player, of course it's going to sound crappy. But you know that's what most people think about. But if you had a superb, expensive system, then the music was fantastic. But they were talking about the digital people were talking about that warmth is attributed more to the fact that some of the high frequencies weren't quite there on the recordings in vinyl days. That's why maybe it sounds nicer because it wasn't harsh at the top end. So limitations of the production in those days and what they had to. You see, if you aim for a record, it's different than aiming for a CD when the producer. I didn't realise that the master has to be. It's either going to be vinyl or it's going to be digital because vinyl there'll be less songs on it for a start. You know, and they can use the frequency range of whatever and do certain things because they know it's going to be pressed to vinyl. And CDs, they can do other things because they're going to press it to CD. So, you know, it's kind of argument is kind of I can understand now why maybe there might be some limits to vinyl. I still think it's better, frankly. But I made a good argument for digital. I was going, oh wow, I never thought about that.
Let's go get you a turntable.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm trying now.
Laying out in the alleys.
Well, that's just it. I'm just like we're talking about yard sales and estate sales. Surely, somebody's got an old one lying around. They don't realise it's worth $10,000. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what this record player's like. So you're saying it's up there at Regis, is it?
Yeah, my friend up there. Hey, but what are you posting on? You made your comments.
Well, this is a comment.
What side
it was
that?
on. No, it was on Facebook. But it was a comment. It was an audio. It was a kind of audio. It was obviously I don't know what it was. Let's have a look on here. I mean, it can't be that far. But I was reading this morning. I was going, no, interesting to read. You know, I'm supposed to be teaching and reading all about digital versus vinyl again. Of course, again, they mentioned the Pono player because there are huge quotes from Neil Young about the quality, you know, giving you that vinyl experience, and then some people will say that no, there isn't a vinyl experience. You know, the anti-vinyl, the pro-digital people. course, then they talk about the hipsters. You know, vinyl's only for hipsters who think it's cool. No, you know, like, what the hell? They're not very hipsters take video on this one. I don't know where it was.
It's alright, but a video wouldn't be complete without dogs barking and you checking your iPhone 6. So now
Yeah,
the video is done.
I'm just looking for the article.